Good.
Shall we get into some dropping eaves? You ready for this?
Yes, let's get into some dropping eaves. I like this. Let's
Is
do
there anything
it.
else you wanted to talk about? Anything
No,
else
I
you
have
need to tell us?
other surprises that will come later in the show. So
Okay.
you got to stick around and you
Okay.
got to listen
Man.
for a little bit longer. So
the
dropping eaves, there's
Wizard's
a lot,
fireworks.
right? I mean,
Yes.
from looking at this, I've heard things. I don't really know. It seems like they've just been keeping stuff way under wraps, but stuff is actually happening.
So actually, yes. So we're going to give another huge shout out to James O'Connor, Jimmy Boy down there in Aotearoa, Kiwi land. Jimmy has been hooking us up. You know, we heard his story about his run-in with Joseph Mall. We thought it was from him. He was all sweaty from having filmed. Jimmy was kind enough to email us back and be like, "No, dude, he was on a run. I saw him at a stoplight." Okay, right. We just our minds jumped to it. Hey, he must have just gotten done with like training, sword fighting or something. He was just on a run. But so, Jimmy has been keeping us in the loop because a lot of this stuff has happened right in his backyard, like 10 and 15 minutes from where he lives. And the really cool thing was last episode we talked about the International Tolkien Reading Day reveal, or I guess picture that they shared with the clapperboard, the slate on a beach. We knew from Jimmy that it was probably West Coast, but he confirmed or said, I'm pretty sure, guys, that this is Bethells Beach or Tehanga. And we were like, holy crap. I mean, if you recognize that, Jimmy, then that's probably exactly what it is. Well,
yeah.
Sure enough, we get an email from Jimmy. And it's literally just a Twitter link, okay? Mm-hmm. So I click on the link, and I'm like, this is going to be great. This is going to be him with Joseph Mall, a selfie or something, or like maybe he spied something on the beach. It's better than any of that, okay? So he found there's a Fellowship of Fans Twitter handle @FansFellowship, and this is an exclusive release. So it's a direct quote from a source when asked why Amazon is filming at Bethells Beach. So confirmed that that's where that was.
Yep.
But why, right? Why? And this is huge for me because I was thinking, now I'm not saying they're not doing this, but I'll get to it after we read this. But it both surprised me, but also makes a lot of sense. Okay, so here's the quote. This is Bethells, and there's a picture there. It's a big filming area because you can drive on the beach, okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then the bush and the cliffs are a 5-minute drive. Then the sand dunes are 5 minutes beyond that. So within like a 10-minute radius, you have essentially a microcosm of most of New Zealand. Okay? And so there's a picture there of Bethells Beach. You can see that, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
And then the quote laid over a map of Middle Earth. So I think I sent an email. I was like, Jimmy, you did it. You're a master. You know your backyard. He said, haha, I just listened to the most recent episode. I'm just glad that this means I was right and know my West Auckland beaches. And he gave us a little
Let's
X
go.
there. And so this is crazy to me because I was thinking, and maybe they have traveled around different parts of both islands and done filming everywhere. Bethells Beach is 22 miles to the west of Auckland. All right. We know that all the studio work that they're doing is based in Auckland because Wellington is being like consumed by the Avatar sequels. James Cameron is there. Yeah. He's using Weta. He's using Peter Jackson's Wingnut Studios to, do all of the production, the studio work for Avatar. So studio production for Amazon LOTR on Prime is based in Auckland. All right. Mm-hmm. So just 22 miles to the west, just right in their backyard is where they're going and doing all of these different on-location filmings within a 10-minute radius. So maybe when we've seen all these different shots of all these different places, they haven't been all over both islands like I was assuming. They're just in this incredibly diverse part, this little pocket on the West Coast that they don't have to I started thinking, I'm like, this would be ideal for the pandemic.
It would be. Yes.
You're limiting your travel. You're able to drive there and then have all these different, like, it's so strategic. And it also makes sense as to why we're not seeing a bunch of like leaked photos and like people like stumbling onto them and, oh, here they are on the South Island, or here they are, in this big city and that big city. They're in the same place.
Yeah.
So this blew my mind. I put a few screenshots of maps there so you could see just kind of the layout of where Bethells Beach is, all the different terrain around it, which you can see in that Google Maps shot, right? And then I wanted to show the location to Piha, because Piha is where Sarah and I went. And I went there with the Seller family. They would take us out there. There's this famous Lion Rock it's this big beach rock that's similar to the one that's in that photo that Jimmy sent us, but it looks like a lion sitting on its haunches. It's beautiful. You used to be able to climb up it, but then people were falling off and dying, so it's like all, like roped off. You can't climb it anymore, but it's a beautiful thing to see. And then, because I was curious, I was like, I didn't know where Bethells Beach was. The hike we did went south of Piha, so I don't know that I've been to the area where they're filming, but it's definitely very similar terrain. And I was telling you last time that there was this hike we went on where we were in the bush, but you'd look ahead and look off to the side, and it was like a 300-foot just sheer cliff down to the Tasman Sea. Yeah, just dramatic, diverse, like locations where you conceivably could film. It seems like to me almost you could film everything in that area. Like, that's the crazy thing. So have they come up with a hack? Is this a cheat? Like, have they figured out that, yes, even though New Zealand has all these things to offer, what if they're like, what a feather in the cap of New Zealand? Like, yeah, we had both the islands, and we just went to this like 10 mile radius area and filmed the entire first season.
Yeah. What
do you think about all that? I mean, what's your reaction to that? Are you shocked? Does it make sense?
I think it's smart. I think it's really smart. Also, when you look at the map and you look at the screenshots of, or just anybody, you pull up that beach and zoom in there, you look and see there's tons of like land. There's like remote seemingly forest, or I don't even know what all that is down there, but like greenery that you could get into. And like you said, so there seems to be a lot of diverse environment that you like spots where you could set up a shot. If you're like whoever the scout, like the location director. I mean,
genius.
Whoever. Let's go. That's a cool find next to the studio.
Yeah, so you've got all these beautiful rocky beaches, but then you've got like sand dunes that are right there as well, which is a total different aesthetic. Then you're close to the Waitakere Ranges, so there's all this crazy jungle and mountainous terrain that you run into as well. To me, like when I saw this, I was like, we heard it confirmed through Jimmy, I was like, this is nuts. And then just the proximity to Auckland is what kills me. It's 22 miles, I should clarify that, to downtown Auckland, which is it's the center of Auckland's kind of strange. It's like on an isthmus. I think it's narrowest. It's less than a mile across. Like, it's crazy. It's like holding the north part of the North Island and the south part of the North Island together. But I don't know where their studios are. They might not be in downtown Auckland. They might be in the west of Auckland, so it might be even closer. But it's like just a 40-minute drive out. That's nothing, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's nothing. And then considering that they could be staying out there in homes or in trailers and just filming, going back and forth between location and studio stuff. It's wild. If you go do yourself a favor and go just search up Bethells Beach, Tehanga on Google and look at all the different images that pop up. You will also see something about cocaine that was discovered. I think like $2 million worth of cocaine washed up on a beach, and somebody found it. So that's
wow. Okay, that's
maybe that's what the Númenorians were really into. And it's found its way to Middle Earth.
It's in one of the. We'll see it in one of the. It'll be season 1. Some mysterious package is floating up to sea, and they're like, "What is it?" The crew finds it.
That's what Anatar was really all about, dude. That was the black magic he was using, the white powder. Oh, jeez. Anyway, so, but after you get through those images, it's just no two pictures look the same. No two photographs look the same. I had the feeling that this is the kind of place where you could literally do a 360 pan around and feel like you're in 5 different places in the world. And New Zealand often feels like that. Like I can vouch for it. Sarah can vouch for it. A lot of Jimmy can. A lot of people who've been there that are listening right now go, yep, yeah, exactly. And it was like Elijah Wood. I remember Elijah Wood saying it on one of the appendices somewhere. He's like, it has every kind of geographical feature within an hour. And it really does. Like, it's an amazing, I've never been anywhere like that. And I think that's why it's such a mecca for people who love nature and the wild, is you can drive 10 minutes and feel like you've gone through like every place on the world except maybe like Antarctica. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Yeah. So that's very exciting. I mean, like, who knows? Who knows? Like, if that is just the only place they've been filming so far, but it would make sense especially if you're wanting to. And I don't know what restrictions are like in New Zealand right now. I know I just watched rugby, and I know that their stadiums are full and people aren't wearing masks. And I know that they're not allowing international travel yet. They just made a commercial. Actually, Sarah just tagged me in something on Instagram. They just released a commercial where they're like, we'll see you soon, world. We miss people coming and visiting New Zealand. I would think that like it's probably taking maybe not a massive toll on their economy, but tourism is a huge part of their economy. So this period would probably be pretty difficult where people aren't traveling to and from on their I don't know, financial system. But anyway,
right?
Yeah. So
I was saying, hopefully the government is taking some of that. I mean,
I'm
they've
sure
got
they are. Yeah,
ton of money.
They take good care of their people there. So yeah. Another thing I did want to talk about, there was I just I'm pulling a U. I searched just LOTR on Prime show news, and so I found a website, otakucart.com. It's just a prediction on how many episodes are we going to get. Just reaffirming that no one really knows yet. Nobody knows how many episodes. It mentions that initially that they were talking about a total of 20 episodes in a season. Remember that was that first kind of like leak out there that they were going to go like 20 episodes, and then more recently we heard more about 8 to 10 would probably be more reasonable, and that makes way more sense for the type of show it's probably going to be. So, but still, just no one knows. No one knows. And it's an amazing thing. So, and then they're just talking about, the things that we're going to see, the building of Númenor, of Linden, and Eregion, and then, Barad-dûr. We could see the construction. I'm sure we will see the construction of Barad-dûr. Like, that's something we haven't even talked about. Barad-dûr is erected in the Second Age. Like, that tower is built. We could see Sauron, putting his cronies to work and getting that tower raised. I mean, how cool would that be?
That would be sick. That would be sick.
And to see it like in segments, almost like when the second Death Star is being built, right? And it's like not done yet. We could see Barad-dûr in stages as it's being completed. So just so much. So, I mean...